Today we are working Psalm number 6. Psalm number 6 is traditionally used to bring relief when in distress. It's used for good health, for compassion to or from other people, for healing one's eyesight, and for healing any difficult illness. So any of those uses we can use today, even if that's not my stated use. I'm going to direct the psalm today toward healing any difficult situation, be that an illness or a problem anywhere else in your life. If you found something that's been very difficult and nothing seems to work, let's try working Psalm number 6 on it and see if we can't get it to turn around. The way we work psalm magic is very simple and effective. We take the psalm and we recite it out loud all the way through once without stopping, and then we go back through the psalm and we consider each verse in turn. We look for hidden or occult meanings within the psalm, and we try to apply what we find to whatever it is that we brought to the psalm. And by doing this, we are taking the seeds of magic that exist within the psalm, living seeds of magic, and we plant them deeply in our minds, where they take root, they grow, they blossom forth, and they bear fruit after their kind. And that is exactly what you and I are going to do together right now with Psalm number 6. O Lord, rebuke me not in thine anger, neither chasten me in thy hot displeasure. Have mercy upon me, O Lord, for I am weak. O Lord, heal me, for my bones are vexed. My soul is also sore vexed, but thou, O Lord, how long? Return, O Lord, deliver my soul, O save me for thy mercy's sake. For in death there is no remembrance of thee. In the grave who shall give thee thanks? I am weary with my groaning. All the night make I my bed to swim. I water my couch with my tears. Mine eye is consumed because of grief. It waxeth old because of all mine enemies. Depart from me, all ye workers of iniquity, for the Lord hath heard the voice of my weeping. The Lord hath heard my supplication. The Lord will receive my prayer. Let all mine enemies be ashamed and sore vexed. Let them return and be ashamed suddenly. In the King James Version of the Psalms, which is my favorite version to use for psalm magic, but you can use any of the main translations. There's no stipulation that you have to use the King James. I just like that Shakespearean sound, but that's just me. In the King James translation, Lord means the tetragrammaton, Yud-He-Vav-He, which they didn't speak out loud. It was considered at one point impolite to speak it out loud, and then it turned into something very superstitious that you don't say the name of the Lord out loud. Take the name of the Lord in vain to speak it out loud. What it truly means is, in a magical point of view, is that it's unspeakable. Ineffable means unspeakable. Not that you shouldn't speak it, but that you can't speak it. Not that you shouldn't speak it, but that it's unspeakable. This Yud-He-Vav-He, which is the initials for what people now call Jehovah or Yahweh or Yehovah, is said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times in those first 4 verses. So this psalmist really means business because using the name of God is a magical formula to create change. For us as psalm magicians, what does that name mean? Yud-He-Vav-He is a symbol for the one power of the universe. And there's many names that it goes by because the name of something is its nature. So the Yud-He-Vav-He represents the head of all of that. The unspeakable name of God is the idea that there is only one. There's only one power. And it's beyond all understanding. And from that power, many different names or qualities of God also exist. O Lord, rebuke me not in thine anger, neither chasten me in thy hot displeasure. We start out with a huge amount of projection here, because the idea that the infinite is going to be angry with us, and the reason why we're going through whatever this situation is because possibly this infinite intelligence, this infinite life force is angry with us, is a very important thing to voice. And it's also very important for us to understand the ridiculousness of that at the same time. The idea that it would be God's will for you to have an incurable illness or a problem that doesn't seem to be solvable, that would be somehow God's will for you, because maybe God's testing you, God's angry, it says here, maybe God's angry with you, God's displeased with you. The truth is that the infinite is always pleased with you, infinitely pleased with you, because the infinite only sees you as you are, as you were created. Everything that's not like the way the infinite sees you is what's causing problems. When we project that onto the infinite, oh, God must be mad at me, we can see our error. And it's important for us to understand that whatever we're projecting outward is what we're going to receive back. Then it says, have mercy upon me, O Lord, for I am weak. O Lord, heal me, for my bones are vexed. Whatever your problem is, you are feeling weak and vexed. Your bones, the very structure of who you are vexed. You can feel that you can't stop thinking about the problem. The problem is all-consuming. And you're asking for the infinite to have mercy on you, to relieve you of this suffering. Mercy in this sense is the solving of the problem. God, solve this for me because I can't do it myself. I've tried everything and nothing's working. Such an important thing to give voice to. My soul is also sore vexed, but thou, O Lord, how long? So my soul is sore vexed. The soul itself technically can't be vexed. Your soul is perfect. But when the Psalms say soul, they're talking about the deep mind. They're talking about the habitual mind. So you can't stop being vexed. It's a habit for you at this point. It's so entrenched in your experience of yourself in the world that you can't see beyond that vexation, that reactive mind. And then can't even say a complete sentence because the psalmist is so upset. But thou, O Lord, how long? And in the Psalms, it says how long, how long, how long, a lot, meaning what the heck? When do I get a relief from this? It just doesn't seem like I'll ever get an answer to my prayer. It doesn't seem like I'll ever find relief from this problem. How long am I going to have to be here? So all of these are very important things for us to bring up, voice, and understand that our relationship with our problem is such that there is no way out from our point of view. We are powerless over whatever this problem is. Return, O Lord, deliver my soul. O save me for thy mercy's sake. As if the infinite was gone, maybe on a break, maybe having a coffee break or having a cigarette or something. Please come back. Please come back. It's interesting and important for us to see that idea that the infinite's gone, and that's why I'm having these problems. But the truth is the infinite's never gone. The infinite's omnipresent. And the idea of omnipresence is something that will heal this problem. The infinite's always there, always been there, always will be there. And the infinite has no desire for you to have this problem. It's not the infinite's will that you have this problem. Yet you have free will in that you can use your mind any way you want to. And everything that the psalm has so artfully brought up in these first several verses is you becoming aware of maybe you didn't create the problem. Let's not go there. Let's not so-called blame the victim here. But there are places within you that are fertile ground for that problem to stay. And the idea that you're supposed to solve it yourself, that you're supposed to come up with ways to fix it for yourself, is why you're so vexed, is because you're spinning your wheels and you don't know what to do. And now we are starting to come to the understanding that the infinite needs to heal it for us. But our job is to call out to the infinite and then receive the infinite's blessing, to receive the infinite's healing. But we're still going to bargain a bit more, because that's what we do. For in death there is no remembrance of thee. In the grave, who shall give thee thanks? The idea that the infinite's got an ego that needs to be stroked and praised. If I die, or even if you don't think of it in terms of mortal death, if I'm so overwhelmed with this problem that I can't do anything but try to fix this problem, I don't have time to praise you. So you want to heal it for me because you need my praise, don't you? The idea that the infinite can be coerced, that the infinite can be cajoled, and that somehow the infinite's ego can be boosted enough to maybe fix the problem for you. Another wonderful thing to bring up in whatever iteration that appears in your own life, that somehow you need to bargain with the universe, that you need to somehow have a transactional experience with the universe to get this thing fixed. And then even more truth-telling here. I am weary with my groaning. All the night make I my bed to swim. I water my couch with my tears. I'm so sick of myself. I'm so done with bitching and moaning and complaining. I'm so done with not being able to have a good night's sleep. I'm so done with crying. I'm so done with night sweats. I'm done with all of this. You don't understand, Infinite, how bad this is for me. You just don't understand. If you understood how bad this was, you might think about helping me. Mine eye is consumed because of grief. It waxeth old because of all mine enemies. The enemies definitely are the problem. So we're starting to crack our minds open a little bit here to understand this didn't just come out of nowhere, whatever this problem was. There was a cause for it. And so we have to find a way into the realm of cause rather than always trying to combat the effects. We've been trying to fight this problem within the realm of effect, and it hasn't been working. But now all of a sudden, we're starting to understand that our enemies are the cause of all of this. And some of those enemies are the problem itself, but some of those enemies are internal thought forms which delight in unsolvable problems. That's the ego mind. The ego mind is programmed to make sure that we have unsolvable problems. When we have unsolvable problems, it's got us because those insolvable problems consume our time, our day and night, and we never do anything to rise above the ego, to awaken to the truth about ourselves, because we're too busy combating the unsolvable problems. So mine eye is consumed because of grief. It waxeth old because of all mine enemies. The eye here is our focus, our attention, our conscious mind. And remember that the deep mind gets its instructions from the conscious mind. And so we're realizing all I do is think about the problem. No wonder it self-perpetuates. Even if I had nothing to do with this problem, even if you didn't create the problem for yourself, your focus on it is definitely helping to perpetuate it. You're asking for help, earnestly asking for help. And you've gone through all of the rigmarole of trying to entice the infinite, to cajole the infinite, to threaten the infinite, all kinds of things to get the infinite to help you. And finally, you're realizing, oh, it's because of my enemies. My enemies are the issue. So I have to take responsibility for my enemies here. Depart from me, all ye workers of iniquity, for the Lord hath heard the voice of my weeping. Done. All of a sudden, instead of fighting against the problem, you got your backbone. You understand that because of the infinite, you have a voice. You have willpower. You get to make choices. And what's the new choice? Instead of weeping and sweating and crying and cajoling, being consumed with your suffering, you say, depart, all ye workers of iniquity, for the Lord hath heard the voice of my weeping. Now, when the Lord heard the voice of my weeping, the infinite said, I've got you, but you've got to make the first move. You've got to do this. I'm here with you doing it, but I can't do something for you that doesn't get done through you. The infinite only does for us what it can do through us. The infinite's speaking with us now. Depart from me, all ye workers of iniquity, for the Lord hath heard the voice of my weeping. That's all it took. And then it says, the Lord hath heard my supplication. The Lord will receive my prayer. In other words, this is a done deal. I went through what I had to go through in order to find this power again. And now that I've got this power, this problem has no power over me any longer. Its healing is inevitable. Inevitable. Let all mine enemies be ashamed and sore vexed. Let them return and be ashamed suddenly. Let all of whatever the cause of this is return unto the native nothingness from whence it came. And when it says be ashamed suddenly, to be ashamed in these ancient Psalms had a couple different meanings. One meaning is to be ashamed is to be destroyed. But it also is like putting a scarlet letter on it, so that when those tendencies come up again in the future, you're going to remember, no. We're not going down these roads again. Remember last time when we allowed all of these kinds of thoughts into our mind, what happened? We became victimized. So we're not doing that again. So you're going to remember in the future, because of these thoughts being ashamed, you're not going to succumb to that kind of temptation again in the future. Let all mine enemies be ashamed and sore vexed. They're gone. And let them return and be ashamed suddenly. They're gone instantly. They are banished instantly. There's no process anymore. You've been processing, trying to fix your problem. Now, since you found this formula and you voiced all of that, and you understand that it's all because of your enemies, and those enemies are not only the problem itself, but the internal thought forms which allow for it to continue. And also, your conscious attention was only on the problem and never on the solution. So those things kept it in place. And once you found that, then the infinite and you came together. And you got your voice back, you got your power back, and you say, get the heck out of here. None of this. We're done with you. The promise here is that it happens in an instant. The whole thing is gone in an instant. No more process. So it's a very, very powerful psalm. One of the purification psalms. This is one of the psalms that you can come back to again and again and again for so many reasons. Because it's got a basic threefold formula here. Calling on God, asking for God to come in, unloading on God, and then allowing God to heal it through me. All the Psalms do that to some degree or another, but this one is very compact with how it does it. Invocation, a purifying of a lot of deep-seated thought forms, unhealthy thought forms, bringing things up to the surface, and then a recognition of our power and allowing ourselves to become one with the infinite and work together. And then allowing the problem, whatever it is, to be healed. And it does it so succinctly. And you just keep coming back to that same psalm every day. And you'll eventually get a sense of certainty and a sense of peace about the situation. That sense of peace and certainty is the indicator that the spell has been cast and you don't have to work anymore on it. You just keep your mind off the problem after that and let it resolve itself. Thank you so much for joining me today. I so appreciate you. Until next time, blessed be.